Double Trouble, Table Saw, or Hell's Hole, you better strap on a helmet and get prepared to get wet. These are just a few of the rapids on one of America's most famous stretches of whitewater, the Ocoee River. The river flows through the Cherokee National Forest in southeastern Tennessee and is controlled by a dam, so even in the driest months, there's plenty of water to ride. The Ocoee has 5 miles of world-class rapids that capture the attention of the best paddlers in the world. That's just what happened in 1996 when the Atlanta Olympic kayaking competition was held on the Ocoee. Joe Jacoby, an Olympic gold medalist from the Barcelona Games, along with Jim Fortune and 15-year-old Becca Red, spend quite a few days each year on this exhilarating stretch of water.
The Ocoee River is kind of unique in one aspect because they can turn it on and turn it back off again. And it's kind of cool in the mornings you get up there. If you get up there pretty early, there's not very many folks up there. It's real quiet. Right now, this time of year, come 10 o'clock, they flip the switch and the water starts backing up behind the dam, starts slowly pouring over. And in probably 30 minutes, you've got just a torrent of water rushing down the river.
The Ocoee River has always been a popular river, and today we have over 300,000 people that canoe, kayak, and raft the Ocoee each year. But I think what makes it such a great international whitewater destination is the fact that we do hold big international whitewater events on the Ocoee, and the greatest one that we ever held was the 1996 Olympic Games at the Ocoee Whitewater Center. And this year, in 2001, we'll be holding the Whitewater World Championship. Is that in 1992, I won the gold medal, the Olympic gold medal at the Barcelona Olympic Games. That was a thrill, but there have been a lot of other great things that have come along the way. In fact, last year, I won a silver medal at the World Cup here on the Ocoee River.
I got started paddling in 1983. A bunch of the guys that I worked with all paddled, and at lunch all I heard about was all these great paddling stories, and I figured if I'm going to hang out with these guys, I guess I ought to learn how to paddle so I can know what the heck they're talking about.
Well, once I started paddling, I met Jim. He's the manager of an outfitter store in Chattanooga, and basically just took me under his wing and showed me all the rivers around Chattanooga and taught me how to paddle, went down all the rivers with me, was right there to show me the lines of every move. And it was just a great confidence booster, and he just got me where I am today.
I met Joe through Bob Red. I had been teaching his daughter how to paddle, and she was 10 years old, and we came up to paddle the Ocoee, and which is kind of cool because you have to be 12 years old to raft it. Bob happened to stop and pick up a hitchhiker on his way, and he picked Joe up and just got to talking with him. He didn't know who he was. Told him he had a daughter that paddled. He was like, "Oh, I want to meet your daughter." And so we ended up on Becca's birthday. We ended up paddling with Joe for her birthday.
You know, the nature of canoeing and kayaking is that you paddle down a river, and when you get to the bottom, you got to get back to the top to go retrieve your car. And I was running the Ocoee River one day, and I got to the bottom, and I was hitchhiking for a ride back to the top. Well, sure enough, Becca Red's father, Bob, picked me up and was telling me about this girl who wanted to celebrate her 10th birthday, 10 years old, by paddling the Ocoee River. And he asked me if I might be able to come and join them on the river. Sure, I'll come out and paddle with Becca. She's such an impressive young paddler.
You just look at the way the sport's changed today. All the playboats used to be 12, 13 foot long, and now they're 6 foot. All in the search of the perfect wave. My friend Jim has taught me everything I know about playboating.
It's real important to have good equipment. The paddle, for instance, is your engine. You really need a good paddle to be able to do these maneuvers and paddle well. The boat, you need a good boat or a modern boat. We get a lot of people that try to paddle in something that's 10 or 15 years old, and it's just the new technology boats are so much better. They're easier to paddle, easier to roll, and more fun to play in. You definitely need a good helmet to protect your head and a good life jacket if you happen to come out of the boat.
I think being young, I'm 15, in the sport is just all the better. It's fun because you have so many older people to look up to, and they can help teach you things, and they're always willing to help, and having them there really helps. And I think that the more younger people there will be, the more great paddlers will be out there. And the cycle will just continue. The older, more experienced paddlers will just help the younger ones. I think it's awesome, and if anyone ever had any kind of interest in paddling, it's awesome. And just like, if you have the will, you'll find the skill to do it.
To watch how the young people are pushing the sport forward. And one thing you have to remember, when you're watching a 15-year-old girl paddle like that on the Ocoee River, you have to remember that kids generally handle fear much better than adults do. There is no fear for the kids, and that's what us adults learn from the young people like Becca as well. You learn how to manage that fear, and then you learn how to apply that to all the other things that you want to do in life. Whether you want to be a father, whether you want to be good at your job, you want to be a good student, you got to be able to manage your fear well. We all learn that through the sport, but we really learn it from the young people in the sport.
If you think you're ready to tame the whitewater on Tennessee's Ocoee River, bring your A game. You're going to need it.
This is a wild river, and you need to hook up with a qualified guide. And if you do, you'll find it's a great way to spend a day. When we come back, we'll hook up with some hikers making their way down the Appalachian Trail.